How good really is Primal Dragon armor? It's a question that tons of people have been wondering over the past couple of days since its release on Alpha. Today we'll take a look at the stats, we'll do some tests, and we'll decipher how good it really is. Just like with every other armor set in the game, certain armor sets are better for certain things. For instance, Terra armor is great when you're using a bow outside of dungeons. It's not really that great when you're doing anything else. Now, the first thing to note is this is now going to be the best magic find set in the game, without a doubt. Each piece of Primal Dragon armor is going to give you plus 7 magic find. If we compare that to Sorrow, each piece only gives you 5, meaning that a full set of Sorrow will give you 20 magic find, and a full set of Primal Dragon will give you 28. Now, considering the Clover Helmet that gives you plus 5 magic find, just consider the amount of money that people are willing to pay for that item, around the 7 billion coins mark at minimum. That should tell you straight away that this armor set is not going to be cheap. But is this armor going to be good for anything else? We'll take a look at that in just a moment. If you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS, it gets yourself 5% off. You should subscribe to the channel. If you watch the videos and you haven't subscribed, please make sure to do so. You should join the Discord server, it's linked in the description of this video. We offer slays and dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and make some coins, make sure to join. Now, another aspect of the game that you 100% absolutely have to consider is dungeons. And at the moment, your best damaging setup is most probably Necron. Okay, so this Dragon Armor is almost 5-starred. I bought some Dragon Essence off the Bazaar. I didn't think there would be, so I was going through the rigmarole, figuring out what would be the best way to get Dragon Essence, and unfortunately, you can't salvage Terminators anymore, which is pretty sad. I literally can't get into a dungeon. I actually can't get in. It's doing what it always used to do on the Alpha. It'll put you into a queue, and it says, oh, sorry, we've got no servers. No. 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 Now this time it doesn't give me an error message. It's just straight up basically saying no. Do I give up, or I've done this like 10 times? I don't know. Surely bringing out an armor set like this with also the new accessory that they've brought out, surely they'd know that there'll be a lot of people wanting to go into a dungeon. You would think so, wouldn't you? Huh? They actually got in. Alright, this is lagging out so much. My Skyblock menu has disappeared. Oh my god, it's back. Oh, what on earth is going on? What on earth? Anyway, within dungeons, we're in our Primal Dragon armor. Our Primal Dragon armor is giving us 1,887.2 strength. It's giving us 1,392.2 defense, 280.7 strength, and 364.7 crit damage. And well, it is clear to see that Necron definitely takes it in the health department. Something to note is, I do have Kata 50 on the Alpha, and also our Dragon Collection is really quite low. We also have a lot more defense. Our strength is relatively comparable actually. So too is the crit damage. I would try and do some sort of damage test, but you see what the issue may be? I just don't really know what's going on. It's like a slideshow. Anyway, as I was saying before, in terms of Necron, majority of things like the health that I was getting was purely down from the Kata level that I have on the Alpha. Realistically, most people are not going to be Kata 50. And then again, this Dragon Armor is not going to be very good for me. I mean, Dragon Armor in general, this Dragon Armor just won't be good because I need to increase my Dragon Collection because my Dragon Collection is incredibly low, meaning that my stats are only buffed very, very minimally when they could be buffed a lot more. And this stat really is quite important. Increases armor stats by 20% for each digit of your dragon kills. So at the moment I'm gaining a 40% bonus because I have 2 digits, I only have 96 dragon kills. If I had 100 dragon kills then I'd have a 60% bonus, meaning that my stats would be 20% better. If I had 1,000 dragon kills then I would have an 80% bonus. If I had 10,000 dragon kills then I would have a 100% stat buff on this armor set, which would be insane. So what this really means is when you're actually using this armor set, it's quite imperative that you have high dragon collection. But assuming most people probably aren't going to have a 5-digit dragon collection, they may have a 4-digit dragon collection if they've done them, you know, relatively consistently over a period of time. And at that point, you could definitely expect an 80% stat buff, which would be kind of crazy. With that buff, minus Kata 50, it makes these two armor sets much closer. And to be honest, my comparison has not really been the most fair. But the bottom line is that with good dragon collection, this armor scales much better than Necron. But imagine if you took it a step further. 120% stat buff. I mean, that does mean that you would have a 6-digit dragon collection, which is kind of insane to think. But looking at the stats of this armor, would it not be worth it? I mean, that's kind of insane. I mean, this armor is pretty much the best armor in the game. It's so versatile. It's the best Magic Find set. It's the best dungeon set for anything that requires crit damage and strength. It's better than, you know, like gear that you can get from Kudra, even at really high levels. It's just insane. And to be honest, you've got to kind of think that this armor set is probably not going to release as it currently is. It does probably need a nerf in some way. What I would say, I'm not against armor sets being really good and being really overpowered. I mean, at the end of the day, when the Necron set first came out, we thought, oh my god, this is really good. This is almost too good. And when Shadow Assassin first released, you're like, oh my god, this is crazy. Remember when the Crimson Elves came out and we found out that we could get gear to Infernal? We saw the stats and we were like, yeah, that's kind of wild. Well, I feel like this is just the next step. So I'm in two minds. I don't know whether this set should be nerfed or not. And at the moment, I think it probably is too overpowered. The Magic Find is fine, but I think it might be a little bit too overpowered in terms of everything else compared to everything else. If it can compete with Necron in dungeons, if it can compete with, or not just compete, be the best Magic Find set in the game bar none, and it can also compete with like Infernal Crimson and Infernal Terror, then yeah, we might have a bit of an issue. Now, there's one thing that I really do wish that they actually had, and this NPC here that it basically gives you anything that you want. You've got max items and duplicate items, max collections, max skills, max slayers, and how about max bestiary? Or, I mean, I would have thought, I mean, the dragon collection, it doesn't match your dragon collection, but it's not really a collection, it's more of a bestiary, so I feel like there should also maybe be an option to max bestiary, because it would be really cool to see what this set could really do with, I don't know, 100,000 dragon collection. Because at the moment, when I'm using this set, I'm kind of thinking it's a little bit mid and I don't know what people are really talking about and hyping it up for. But obviously how it can actually be once you've got the collection, yeah. Now, we also have to consider how much this armor set is going to be when it releases. If it releases like this, if it's nerfed, maybe it will end up being slightly cheaper. And to think about that, you have to really think about how difficult it is to spawn these primal dragons and how expensive it is. The full 8 eyes is the equivalent of 64 summoning eyes, and at the moment summoning eyes are ridiculously expensive because of this update. Then of course you don't have a 100% chance of spawning a primal dragon. It's going to be a very, very expensive hobby. And personally, I think it's going to be, I genuinely do think it's going to be at least 500 mil a piece if it releases like this in this state, which is crazy. Regardless, it's going to be funny to see in 2024 the best armor set in the game is going to be a dragon set. Who would have thought that? Anyway, let me know what you think of this armor set in the comments. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.